Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing great. Today, I want to share an amazing recipe with you. Today, I'm sharing a traditional pastry from Afyon called bukmesi. It's made with soft, homemade dough and filled with a tasty lentil and onion mixture. It's simple, comforting, and goes perfectly with a cup of tea. You're going to love it. Let's get started. We're starting our recipe by cooking the lentils, because they need to cool down a bit while we prepare the dough. Add 2 cups of green lentils and 4 cups of water to a pot and place it on the stove. Let it cook until the water is fully absorbed and the lentils are nice and soft. For the dough, I'm mixing 2.5 cups of water, 5 cups of flour, and 2 teaspoons of salt in my KitchenAid mixer. The dough should be a bit firm, so if needed, add a little more flour. By the way, as you can see, my lentils are nicely cooking down. We're waiting for all the water to be completely absorbed. Now let's melt our butter and oil to brush onto the dough. I used 1.5 sticks of butter, but later I added half a stick more. So, we melt 2 sticks of butter and half a cup of oil on the stove. To add flavor to the lentils, we'll sauté 2 chopped onions in about 1 to 3 cups of oil. My lentils are cooked, and my butter are melted. Now let's sauté the onions. I'm transferring the cooked lentils into a bowl, then adding the sautéed onions on top. I'll season with salt, black pepper, and red pepper flakes, and mix everything well. Let's set it aside to cool down a bit and move on to the dough. I'm adding half a cup of ground poppy seeds into the melted butter. This is how the original recipe goes, but if you don't have any, it's totally fine to skip. It's optional. I'm sprinkling flour on the countertop, then placing the dough on it. I divide it into 4 equal pieces, shape them into smooth balls, and let them rest for half an hour. Our dough balls have rested for half an hour. Now we're starting to roll them out one by one. As I mentioned before, I'm not a professional at rolling dough. I learned by practicing on my own. We roll the dough out as thin as we can, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Since we'll be brushing it with butter, layering, and rolling again, it's okay for the dough to be thin and a bit layered. I've rolled out the dough enough. Now I'm pouring the butter and oil mixture all over it and spreading it evenly with a brush. After making sure the edges are well greased, I roll out the next dough ball and place it on top of the greased dough. I gently stretch the edges to align them, then brush it with the butter mixture again. After that, I fold it as shown in the video, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap, and put it in the fridge to rest. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free, and it really helps me grow my channel. Also, share this video with your friends and family. Your support means the world to me. Thank you so much in advance. To stay updated with my videos, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. For daily short and fun videos, you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'd love to have you there. We make sure every single layer is brushed with butter. None are left dry. That's what gives us beautiful, flaky layers once the pastry is baked. After the dough rested in the fridge, I took it out and cut it into 16 equal square pieces. Then I set them aside. You can already see the layers in the dough. It's going to bake up beautifully flaky. Now I'm rolling out each small dough square one by one into a 4 by 4 inch square. This detail is important. While rolling, you can rotate the dough left and right, but don't flip it over. Once the dough is evenly rolled into a square, then you can flip it and place it face down on your work surface. I want to show it one more time. I'm pressing and rolling the dough from one side only, and when I place it on the counter, I flip it over before setting it down. I'm placing a spoonful of the cooled lentil filling onto each piece of dough, spreading it evenly so the filling stays centered on the dough. As you can see in the video, I first fold one side of the dough over the lentil filling, then fold the other side on top. Now the pastries are ready to be placed on the baking tray. I'm transferring them onto a greased baking sheet, making sure to leave some space between each one so they don't stick together while baking. I arrange the pastries on the baking tray with the folded side facing down. I'm brushing the tops of the pastries with the remaining butter mixture, then baking them in a preheated 400 Fahrenheit oven until they're golden brown on both the top and bottom. With these measurements, you'll get 2 trays of pastry. As you remember, we had 4 dough balls. One tray comes from using 2 of them. You'll prepare the other 2 the same way, and by repeating the same steps, you'll end up with 2 trays of delicious pastries in total. Here are my pastries, fully baked and ready to enjoy with their perfect crispiness. I'm placing them on a cooling rack to cool down, and to test one, I'm putting it on my plate to show you all. This pastry is crispy, and the taste is incredible. If you didn't tell anyone, no one would even realize there's lentils inside. In Afyon, this pastry is made for special guests on special days. I made it for al-Adha, and my whole family loves it. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Take care until the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.